Hey YouTube, welcome to another episode of Nurse Nikki is Learning to Draw. I'm Nurse Nikki, and today we're going to be drawing an eye. And so if you're interested in learning how to do that, or learning along with me anyway, stay tuned. So right here, I start to draw the shape of the eye. I make sure that I add a corner for the tear duct. As you know, an eye is not a perfect almond. And then I go in and I add the iris for the eye as well as the pupil. And I add just a little bit above the pupil so that I can have a little spot of reflection. And I try to leave that white so it reflects very well by the end. And then I add a little bit over the fold of the eye at the top. From there, I start to add some dark values to the eye. I really put it right under the opening of the eye there, right below, and then also around the iris of the eye. And like I said, I darken the pupil. And then I start to add little lines within the eye so that when I go in to start shading it, it will add some depth and dimension and some interest to that eye. So what you're seeing here is I'm going in and I'm doing some of that shading. You should see that here, and also going back over and adding some more line work to make it have some more interest, and start going back through and darkening the areas that need to be darkened. And then the sclera of the eye, so that's the white part of the eye, it's not really white. So that's why you're seeing here that I'm going in and adding that shading, and then using my Prisma pencil, graphite, and just making sure that I continue to add some darkness around. And then on that lower lid, just adding that skin fold on the bottom to make the eye look a little bit more real. So that's the name of the game here. I'm trying to make the eye look as real as possible. This is not hyperrealism, so clearly if we were going for that, you definitely want to spend a lot more time adding the details, but just kind of semi-realistic is what I was going for here. So just making sure that I go back through again and just adding some more of the dark areas and doing that shading. And then I started to add some of the eyelashes. One of the things with eyelashes that I've learned as I've started to try to do this whole drawing thing is to make sure that you curve the eyelashes, because if you don't, it just looks very bizarre if you just make them straight off of the eye in one direction. You want to try to, and this is not done perfectly what I've done here, but you do want to try to curve your lines as you come from the eyelid there coming outwards. You want to try to curve it to match what you would see in real life, because the eyelashes, when you look at them, they don't just stick straight out at you. If they did, that's one thing, but most people's do not. So you definitely, when you draw them, you try to draw them curving off. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. And you do, when you make those eyelashes, you want to flick your wrist. I did go back and try to make the lines a little bit darker. You still, if you decide to do that, you definitely want to try to continue to follow in the direction of the initial strokes so that they're thicker, but they still have that curved look to them. And so then I go further and just continue to add shading right around the eye to make the eye really stand out from the black, and just make it more of a skin texture with that shading. And then I think you saw me there with the gel pen. And what I was trying to do there is add the brightest whites that you would see when you look at an eye where it reflects the light the most. When you add really white on your drawing, as well as try to get the values as dark as you can, especially if you're using graphite doesn't really get that dark, but if you can do that as much as you can, then you will find that the eye will start to look very real and give you kind of what you're looking for. Anyway, that's it. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section. If you have any tips as to how you draw an eye, please leave that there as well. Not only for myself, but for the community. Let's all share together, learn together. That's the best part about doing art. Please hit the like button, subscribe, press the bell notification so that you can see when I upload in the future. And I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye.